Hello everyone. So this question is about we have been given an array and we have to find k most repeatable elements of that array. So consider this: if you have been provided an array which has three ones, two twos, and one three. Okay. Now if we see this, then what will happen is we have the frequency of 1 as 3. The frequency of 2 is 2 and the frequency of 3 is 1. So if we are being asked which are the two most frequently repeated elements, then the answer will be 1 and 2 because 3 will be the lowest repeated. It is the third most repeated element. Okay. So how we will approach this problem? So I'm solving this in JavaScript and this is how I have taken the approach. The first thing that we will check is whether the nums that we have been provided is an array or not. If it is a string or something, then this will not make any sense. So we will return an empty array. Okay. Now for this case, consider this. If we are being asked that zeroth, zeroth most repeated elements of this array, then obviously we will return the entire array. Okay, because every array top zeroth, obviously we will return the entire nums. It is an edge case. Okay, now what we are gonna do is see here that we are using a frequency map. Okay, we are using a frequency map. So what we are doing is we are taking a new map. Okay, and we are also declaring an array which will be returned as our answer. Okay, so this is what we will do first. We first need to know what is the frequency of each element that is coming in this array. Okay, the array which is nums. Okay, so what we are doing is we are taking a for loop. We ran a for loop. Now let's declare a variable named count. Count is basically the frequency of every element here. Okay, so if the map has this element already, then we will get the count from this one. Okay, what we will store in this is will be in the form of num and then count. Okay, so we will first declare this variable inside this loop that will be initiated to 0. Then if the already we have this one, this element that we are iterating over, consider the element is 1 and we have already that element, then for the first time when this loop will run, what will happen is that the map will store it in this form 1 comma 1. Okay, now when the second time will come, because okay, when second time same element will come for this one, what will happen is that we will get what is the count. So the count will come as 1 and this will initiate it to 2. Then when map will set it, it will set it as 1 comma 2. Okay, same way when the third time 1 will come, what will happen is again the count will be initiated to 0. Then map has already an element whose value is 1. So we have this one, we are storing it as a form of key. So it will take O1 to get that value. Now we will get that the count of this one, which will be 2 when it will be rendered for the third time. Okay, now for the third time we will do, we will increase it by 1 and then we will store it. Okay, so if we will do it correctly, what will happen is, let me show you. I am using this as console. Okay, let me show you what it is showing here. Let's run this one. Okay, now see this. One, due to this logic, what is happening is that 1 will be stored 3 times, 2 will be stored 2 times, and 3 will be stored 1 time. So we are getting the frequency of each element that is inside this nums array. Okay. Now what? We have this one. What we can do next? Okay. Now if you will see, if I am going with for const element, we need this one to be in the sorted format, okay? Because this is 3, this is 2, this is 1. In some format, it can be like this. Say 4, then 1, then 2, then 3. That this, the most frequent will be 4, comma 1, right? Okay, so we need it in that format, that which is the most occurring should come at the first, but it is not necessary that the map will store it in the same manner. Okay? Because here it is 4 in the initial, it can come at the last as well if the force. Let me show you here. If I am putting it here, okay. Okay. Now let me. What should be the output? Output should be the same. Okay. Yeah. So let me run this one. What is happening is, this is my third case. Yeah. Expected output is coming as 4 comma 1. Wait, let me show you what is getting stored inside the map. See now here, what is getting stored inside the map? At first it will become as 1, then we will get 2, then 3, then 4, because it is the same order in which it is getting stored. We need to sort it in the form that it can get stored inside an array, and that too in a descending manner, that the most frequent number 4 should come at the initial time. Okay, so what we are doing here is, first we have this one as mapx. Okay, now we are using that array. Okay, the one we had declared, the empty array that we declared, we are pushing every element of the mapx in this array for the purpose of sorting. Okay, so what we are doing here, if you will see here, this is mapx and here it is array. So let's run the code. What is happening is, now you will see that inside the array, it is stored in the format of this, that the 0th index of every element is telling me the value, that is 1, and how many times is being repeated. It is at the first index, so we have 1 is getting repeated twice, so we are getting 2. 3 is getting repeated once, so 3 is the value, and at the first index I am getting the count, the frequency. Okay, the 4 is getting repeated thrice, so I am getting that at the 0th index of every of the element, and 3 will be the frequency. So what we are getting is, at every element of this array, the 0th index will tell the value and the first index will tell the frequency. Okay, so now we need to sort it so that the most frequent should come at the starting. So what we are doing is, we are applying a quick sort method given by JavaScript to us, that will be in log n. What we are doing is, if a is greater the first index, that is the count of first index, okay, of the a, and the count is greater than the count, then we will get the what do we say, reverse sorted, that this will come at the first, this will go at the back. Okay, so what will happen is, when consider these two are being considered like 3 and 4, so if one is so so what exactly will happen here is that, consider that we are at 4 comma 3 and 3 comma 1. So if 1, okay, I mean 4 comma 3 will be a here, right? So if 3 is greater than 1, okay, then it will go in a reverse order, that is 3 will be placed here and 4 will be placed here. Now similarly, now when once 4 is here and we will compare this one, 3 is greater than then 2 will go ahead and 4 will come back. Okay, so what will happen is that once we are able to sort it, now I can show you here. not map-x, it is at point A. Okay, let me show you how it is going. Okay, so consider this one here. When we have this map, what is happening here is base 3. You see here, the 4, 3 is at the least, at the greatest index. Okay, 3, 1 is after that. But now what has happened here? 3 is the least occurring. Okay, so least occurring, so it has come at the last index. Okay, and 4 comma 3 is now sorted and it has come at the first index. Similarly, the second most repeated after 4 is 1. Okay, it will come here 1 comma 2. Now once we have this one, right, all we need is these two elements and we need to return it in the format of 4 comma 1. We don't need the count here in the answer, right? The expected output is like this format. So what we are doing is we are doing an array dot splice 0 comma k, like for yk, because we have this, we need the top two most repeated elements. Okay, so we have done this array comma splice 0 comma 2, so we will get the first two elements of this array. After that, I have applied a map function. What we will do here is we are going this with LE, the first element, okay, and what we are returning, the 0th index. So what I will get is 4 comma 1. So this is what we are getting in. Okay, 4 for the first time and then the second element. So if you will see this, let me show you. If we are going with array dot splice, then it is coming comma 0 comma k. So let me console it to show you what it is coming. See here, what we are getting here is array dot splice is 4 comma 3 and 1 comma 2, right? Now if I will comment it out, let me run the code. 1 2, why is that? Okay, they're getting a map here as well. Let me comment this out as well. See this, all the cases are being passed when we have 4 1 4 1. Now let me submit it. Already I had submitted it and I was explaining how it is being done. So now consider this case as well. When we have 0th, we want the k most to everyone will be greater than, so we are returning, this is basically an edge case, so we used it here for this case. Otherwise, that when we have negative as well, we need this one. There is a reason why we cannot put an array and then place everything on the index one. What will happen is that it will override it. So consider if one element is occurring, like 3 elements are occurring only once, like 2 is occurring twice, -1 is occurring twice. So what will happen is that if we are storing it based on the index, then what will happen is that -1 and 2 will be overridden, whichever will come after in the second time. So we cannot use it. Hope you liked it. Give me the thumbs up.